Welcome back, my grim brothers and sisters, to my first installment of my movie horror review. Before I begin, there are a couple of things I'd like to go over on how this works. This channel is strictly dedicated to the horror genre, and it will primarily focus on two major factors. One, is the movie actually scary? Because so many of them are not. And two, is the movie good? I can watch a scary movie that's so-so in the scares, but I can't watch a crap movie, even if it has a few good scares. Also, there's an added bonus, which as far as I know, I'm the only movie reviewer to do this, or dare do this, so we'll see if I get banned. Sadly, that's not even a joke as it is today. Political correctness. I'm not a fan of it. Over the years, movies have grown to be more about an agenda rather than just making a good movie. Now, don't worry, I won't be talking politics on this channel, but to avoid that, as if it's not an actual factor now, would be negligible on my part for many of you who just want to sit down and watch a good movie. So any of the newer movies that come out, there will be a rating for how politically correct it is. Obviously, the lower the rating on the PC scale, the better. I wish movie reviewers would do this for all movies, honestly. The good news is, a lot of horror films are not as affected, or rather infected, as others, but it still happens time to time. Now that we've gotten that out the way, let's begin. Alien, directed by Ridley Scott in 1979. Don't let the year fool you. This movie can still hold up to this day on the big screen easily. In the distant future, the crew of the commercial spaceship Nostromo are on their way home when they pick up a distress call from the distant planet. The crew are obligated to investigate. 3 crew members leave the spaceship to explore the area. They discover a hive colony of some unknown creature. When one of the eggs is disturbed, it latches itself on one of the crew members, which in turn leads to the birth of an alien that grows and grows, picking them off one by one. Space horrors, they're finicky. I love it. There really is no in between. They're either really good or really, really bad. This was during a time where practical effects were more commonly used. For one, they had to be. And the upside to that, it's also why the movie visually still holds up today, and perhaps always will. Don't get me wrong, I like CGI, and it has gotten so much better, but I prefer CGI to complement practical effects versus CGI just being the effect. Alien hits it right on all the notes, not just visually. The thing that is seldom talked about with classic movies is music. Older movies typically match the genre that they are initially in during that time. This works great for, let's say, 80s movies, when you want to get that good 80s vibe. But Aliens has an amazing timeless cinematic score that was composed by Jerry Goldsmith, who also did the music composed for Poltergeist, which is still one of my favorite scores to date. I like this because it really doesn't date a film. Music is crucial to a movie. It really sets the tone and pace, or even what's to come. It can create an atmosphere of the unknown and mystery. Alien, the first one, is a slow movie, but it has a good slow burn. It allows you to really connect with the characters. I think we have moved away from that over the years somewhat. I love a lot of action as anyone else, but movies have become more about CGI and being fast-paced, rather than really bringing you in the way some classics do. Sigourney Weaver, who plays Ripley, does a fantastic job. She's a strong character, and when I say strong character, I don't mean a strong female character. She is exactly as Ripley is supposed to be, as she is written for the good of the story, for what makes a movie good. In fact, the entire cast did amazing. This is important because it really brings you into this world, as if you're living through their experiences. Nothing is worse than watching a scary movie where you're detached from the main characters. You could care less if they lived or died. How many times have we watched a movie with the main character being hunted down, and in the back of your mind you're like, boy, I hope they really die soon. Sometimes that works for certain movies, like Jason Voorhees. Nobody watches that in hopes that the characters live. You simply watch it for the mayhem and him chopping up everybody that he comes across. Anyways, I'm carrying on. With Aliens, we're allowed to develop with the characters. The pace might be slow to some, but I promise you, if you've never seen it, the atmosphere and the cast itself will immerse you to the point it doesn't feel like a 2-hour movie. For that, I give Aliens, as far as enjoyable movie, a 4.5 CopperRavens out of 5. I feel strongly it's that good. Now for the fun part, the scares. Sometimes less is more. The screen time for the xenomorph alien is only around 4 minutes. Even then, there's not always a complete reveal. Nothing is more terrifying than your own mind. Meaning, when our brains cannot quite fill in the gaps, it leaves a feeling of uneasiness. It's unnerving. This is what made Jaws so popular, even Darth Vader. The lack of screen time can make someone or something far more significant when those important moments arise. Timing can be everything. Alien plays into that very well, almost artfully. Instead, the cast carries you into their fear, into their experiences. Every turn, with every corner they walk into, is a moment we walk into. The alien itself is obscured by shadows and partial lighting. What we do see when we see it, for the lack of a better word, is, well, truly alien. The artwork was brilliantly designed by H.R. Giger. You can see his earlier work and how the alien, as we know it, manifested as the one we know today. In fact, some of his art comes off in the movies in a very subtle, intimate way with their design. That shared humanity, yet foreign to us at the same time, also adapts an uneasy feeling of fear. To date, I can't think of a more horrifying alien. It's easily in my top 3 from a movie that was made from over 40 years ago. It's scary when it needs to be. It's not forced, or relies heavily on jump scares. From the beginning to the end, the movie grips you on the edge of what might come. I easily give this a solid 3.5 star grim rating. If you think the rating should be higher, keep in mind 3.5 grims is incredibly high for a channel designated to only horror. In fact, if you wanted to give it a 4, I wouldn't exactly argue with you on it either. But also it lets you know, if it ever gave a movie 5 grims, it is truly terrifying and something special. I highly recommend this movie, and it has my seal of approval. If you are young and or somehow managed to never have seen it before, you won't be disappointed. If you have seen it, well, you already know. Maybe it's been a while. At either rate, it's still worth watching again. Why not get the popcorn out and relive those moments? We can never forget that moment with the panty scene from Ridley. I know I can't. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, my grim brothers and sisters. And if you're new to the channel and like what you see, why not join me and stab the like button? I make a lot of videos that are horror related. Below, let me know what scary movies you guys would like me to review. You can also email me with a link provided in the description. It was good talking with you guys again, and as always, stay scary.